Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Children, now we will do phrases and clauses. Now think. Pick the two sentences that mean the same. Discuss why do they mean the same. आपको उन sentences को टिक करना है जो सेम है, जिनका मीनिंग सेम है, और उसके बाद बताना है कि वो दोनों सेम क्यों हैं. Number 1, we enjoyed the hilarious movie. Number 2, Mr. Miller is a man of great strength. Number 3, you should keep the table at this spot. Sentence 4, I thank you with all my sincerity. Sentence 5, Mr. Miller is a strong man. Now do. Match the sentences from the group A with those in group B that mean the same. आपको ग्रुप A और ग्रुप B के sentences को मैच करना है जो सेम है. Now group A, they arrived then. Group B, they arrived at that moment. Number 3, he wore a silken robe. B, please come at a very early date. Please come early. He acted without delay. It is of no use. He wore a noble mode of silk. He acted promptly. It is useless. Now read. Phrases. A phrase is a group of words that makes sense but not complete sense. A phrase consists of one word or more than one word. Phrase से आपको क्या होता है? Sentence का मीनिंग तो पता चलता है, लेकिन कंप्लीट मीनिंग क्या है उसकी वो आपको पता नहीं चलती है. ये वन वर्ड या एक से ज़्यादा शब्दों से भी बना हो सकता है. Example, we thanked him during his stay in the school. Rahul was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Example, we thanked him during his stay in the school. Rahul was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. A phrase livens up a sentence. For example, simple sentence, Sia drew a garden. Now phrases added to the sentence. Sia drew a garden with beautiful flowers and butterflies. Now kinds of phrases. Number 1, noun phrases are groups of words that acts as noun in the sentence. It consists of noun or pronoun and any associated modifiers. जो noun phrase होते हैं वो क्या होते हैं? Sentence में act कैसे करते हैं? As a noun. और ये किससे consist होते हैं? Noun से, pronoun से या कोई भी उससे related modifiers होगा. Examples, she bought a beautiful party dress. Women in the window shouted for help. Verb phrase are sets of words that do the work of an ordinary verb. The phrase consists of main verb and auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. जो verb phrase होते हैं वो किसका act करते हैं? Ordinary verbs का. और ये verb phrase किससे consist होते हैं? Main verb से या auxiliary verb से या helping verb से consist होते हैं. Examples, the teacher is writing the answer. They have been playing since the last 2 hours. Next is prepositional phrases. Are groups of words that always begins with a preposition and they end with a noun, object, the function as adjectives or adverbs. जो prepositional phrases हैं वो किससे start होते हैं? Preposition से, और end किससे होंगे? Noun से, और उनका function जो होगा वो कैसा होगा? As adjectives or adverbs. Example, the children are flying a kite near the lake. The portrait hung on the wall. Now, adjective phrases are groups of words that describe a noun or pronoun. जो adjective phrases होते हैं वो noun या pronoun को describe करते हैं. They are often constructed from participles or prepositions together with their objects. Examples, she has a successful athletic career. That man wearing a black coat is the manager. Now, adverbial phrase is a set of words that gives information on the verb or the adjective. दोबारा पढ़ रही हूँ मैं सेंटेंस को. Adverbial phrase is a set of, एक्शन के बाद बोलना है, फिर बोलो एक्शन बोलो. Adverbial phrase is a set of words that gives information on the verb or the adjective. जो verb और adjective की information देता है वो क्या है आपका adverbial phrase. Example, my father is a man of action. I visit him now and then. तो आपके now and then क्या है, ये adverbial phrase है. Clauses. A clause is a group of words that form part of a sentence and has a subject and predicate of its own. Clause क्या होता है? वो group of sentence होता है जो किसी sentence को जब form करता है तो उसका अपना subject होता है और predicate भी होता है. They can be used separately or in a sentence. Example, some students are sitting on the last bench. There on the last bench is a phrase. All the students who are sitting on the last bench came late. Who are sitting on the last bench is a clause. Some students are sitting on bench. This is sentence. Main and subordinate clause. A sentence can have more than one clause. Sentence के एक से ज़्यादा clause भी हो सकते हैं. Independent clause. An independent clause functions on its own to make a meaningful sentence and looks much like a regular sentence. In a sentence, two independent clauses can be connected by the coordinators and, but, so, or, nor, for, yet. जो independent clause होता है वो sentence की meaning को अपने आप में clear कर लेता है और ये regular sentence की तरह से होता है. हम दो independent clauses को जब connect करते हैं तो coordinators से connect करते हैं जैसे and, but, so, etc. Now examples, I want to buy a phone but I don't have enough money. Now two independent clause. Alex smiles whenever he sees her. One independent clause. Dependent clause. A dependent clause cannot function on its own because it leaves an idea or thought unfinished. It is also called subordinate clause. Dependent clause help the independent clause complete the sentence. A dependent clause alone cannot form a complete sentence. जो dependent clause होता है वो कभी भी अपनी मीनिंग को अपने आप कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाता है. उसे इंडिपेंडेंट सेंटेंस के ऊपर दूसरे के ऊपर डिपेंड होना पड़ता है अपनी मीनिंग को कंप्लीट करने के लिए. These clauses use subordinates to connect with the independent clause to another clause to complete the sentence. In each of the independent clause, the first word is a subordinator. Dependent clause में जो first word होगा वो क्या होगा? Subordinator. Examples, I know the man who stole the watch. He bought a car which was too expensive. The human body breaks down food that we eat to produce energy. Now two clauses. Now classification of subordinate or dependent clause. Subordinate or dependent clause. Noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. Noun clause. A subordinate clause that does the work of a noun is called a noun clause. जो noun का काम करेगा sentence में जो subordinate clause उसको noun clause कहा जाएगा. It can be a subject, a direct or indirect object or an object of a prepositions. Examples, where he lives is unknown. Subject, I don't know who he is. This is direct object. The security officer gave whoever wanted it the key. Indirect object. He is not interested in what the class is studying. Object of prepositions. The following is a list of subordinators used to introduce noun clause. how, whose, whosoever, who, whoever, why, where, that, which, whichever, whom, whomever, what, whatever, whether, if, when. Adjective clause or relative clause. A subordinate clause which acts as an adjective is called an adjective clause. Adjective clauses are also known as relative clause. जो adjective clause होते हैं उनको relative clause भी कहा जाता है. These clauses normally are introduced by relative pronouns like who, whose, which, that, or relative adverbs like when, where, and why. Example: never speak an unkind word which might hurt others. The nation is thankful to all those who have laid down their lives for her. I don't know the reason why they are celebrating. Next is adverb clause. Subordinate clauses that perform the function of an adverb is a sentence are called adverbial clause. Now example: he takes medicine because he is ill. You are safe as long as you drive carefully. Although he tried a lot, he could not climb up the tree. Unless you study for the test, you can't pass it. Adverbial clauses are introduced by subordination conjunctions or subordinators to show time: when, whenever, since, until, before, after, while, as, by the time, as soon as. To show cause and effect: because, since, now, that, as long as, so, so that. To show contrast: although, even, whereas, while, though. To show condition: if, unless, only, if, whether, or, not, even if, providing or provided that, in case. Now tell whether the underlying clauses in the passage are noun, adjective or adverb clause. आपका फर्स्ट सेंटेंस, आपको इस सेंटेंस में क्या बताना है? इस जो नीचे पैसेज दिया हुआ है उसमें आपको बताना है कि कौन सा नाउन, एडजेक्टिव और एडवर्ब क्लॉज है. जो फर्स्ट सेंटेंस है आपका: देयर लिव्ड इन अ सर्टेन विलेज अ लिटिल कंट्री गर्ल, द प्रिटीएस्ट क्रीचर वॉज एवर सीन. द प्रिटीएस्ट क्रीचर, प्रिटीएस्ट किसको एक्सप्लेन किया जा रहा है? क्रीचर, उस गर्ल को. तो वो क्या है हमारा? एडजेक्टिव है. प्रिटीएस्ट हमारा एडजेक्टिव है. और इसी तरीके से आपको जो बाकी के सेंटेंसेस हैं इनमें आपको सेलेक्ट करना है. आई होप आपको ये क्लियर हुआ होगा. नाउ इट्स टाइम टू रिवाइज. यू कैन रिवाइज इट.